The release of Gen V is right on the horizon, and let's just say we're pretty excited about it. The show, which will be a spin-off from The Boys, takes place in the same universe, and it drops on September 29th with 3 episodes releasing right away and then weekly episodes thereafter. In this video, Damon and I are going to talk about the 4 biggest questions we have going into Gen V. Now, before you proceed any further, if you haven't watched The Boys yet, then you need to do the following. Pause this video, but keep the tab open. Go binge watch all 3 seasons of The Boys on Amazon, then come back and finish this video, because there will be plenty of spoilers ahead. Just a little background on what we know about Gen V so far. Set in the world of The Boys, Gen V takes place at Godolphin University, which is a superhero-only college where students train to be the next generation of heroes. Since Vought is involved, the end goal is always about graduating and making money for yourself and the corporation that you're affiliated with. You know what? Actually, it's pretty similar to college in the real world. So it'll be the typical storylines associated with college life: drugs, sex, booze, trying to pass class, banging professors. But since superpowers are involved, people are gonna get hurt and probably die.
I exploded his dick.
Okay, definitely die. Things also get crazier when the young Supes discover a sinister plot going on at the school, and that's pretty much all the detail that Amazon gives us, so naturally we have many questions to ask before the show drops. Without further ado, let's get going. Question number 1, where is this set in The Boys timeline? Damon, talk to me.
Alright, so it's been confirmed that the timeline of Gen V is set within Season 3 of The Boys, and there's also a little bit of carryover into Season 4. As we know, the beginning of next season represents a huge inflection point for obvious reasons, and any carryover from Gen V could represent a new hero / villain joining the fray when we tune back into The Boys. The place is essentially a feeder system for crime fighting and the Seven. Feels like it was created via Patriot Act or some shit. As far as other implications go, Vought International is known for creating and perpetuating this propaganda engine that keeps the US government and Supes in sync. This school is an additional layer to that and is probably a powerful feature as far as developing and maintaining control of Supes for Vought.
Congratulations, and welcome to Godolphin University.
Like a military-industrial complex. Maybe we'll see some of these Supes wise up and rebel by the end of the season? Who knows?
Great points, Damon. With this being set within Season 3, it opens up the world entirely because at this point, Homelander is already on his downward spiral mentally.
Jump.
Please, I just want to get down.
I'm not suggesting anymore. Jump.
Madeline has been barbecued in half. Temp fee is in the works. Supe terrorists are still running around. And there's an opening in the Seven, or actually several openings potentially. So quite exciting. Which brings us to question number 2. Who are the main characters we're looking at in Gen V? We get a little bit of detail in the trailer and some more info in the Amazon press release, but Damon, please tell me more.
Out of the highlighted main characters we were offered, the key protagonist that sticks out is Marie Moreau. We actually saw her a while back in the Red River file Huey scoops up in Season 3, where she's confirmed to be 17 and currently registered at the Institute. We know that she's 18 at the start of Gen V, so that gives us a better understanding of where in that Season 3 to 4 range we're actually looking at here. This is pretty interesting because we also know the Red River is the same place where Victoria Newman grew up. We know some bad shit went down here, and it also informs us on Marie's character a bit. She's got a background closer to that of an orphan than many of her more privileged classmates at Godolphin, and it might put a chip on her shoulder and also plant another conflict down the road in terms of the mystery behind who her parents were and who she is. Those bloodbending powers are kind of disgusting, but also impressive. It seems like she's fairly powerful, and she has regenerative healing ability to help her recover from actually using the bloodbending powers. Introducing a hero whose powers take a lot out of them leads to an interesting conflict that will certainly pop up as the season goes on and we learn more about her as a character. One of the other characters we see is Andre Anderson. Now, always take trailers with a grain of salt. These people are essentially paid to edit together small spliced clips in misleading ways to create more intrigue for the upcoming season, but this dude appears to be a pinch of comic relief and fairly arrogant at the same time in classic Supe tradition. He's the son of a known Supe polarity, and this dude represents a legacy of sorts. I'm sure there's going to be some pressure or expectation put on him by his dad, who actually expects him to take on his superhero name, which seems a little off. Classic parent trying to live out their dreams through their kids, am I right? Though magnetism has and will always be a sick power, he does look a bit unstable at times from what they've shown, and he's a bit of a party boy. We'll see what kind of mischief this could lead to. Our next character to look at is Emma Meyer. I'm not gonna lie. The idea of a season regular with termite-like abilities who's also a YouTube influencer sounds kind of exhausting, so I'm glad they plan on building her character up with some more redeeming qualities and being Marie's roommate and eventual friend. I'd expect her to be one of the more good/heroic soup teens that we see. Next, we have Luke Reardon, played by Schwarzenegger. With a nickname like Golden Boy, you sort of know what you're getting into here. Anybody screams Homelander light, it is this dude. He seems more chill, but his power set and the constant hype behind him reminds me of when an NBA or an NFL draft prospect gets so pumped up by his PR team that it sets him up for failure. Hopefully that is not the case here. But we know VOD is a pretty parasitic organization, and they've managed to warp some of their previous Tier 1 soups beyond the point of no return.
Nobody can do what I do.
Though apparently this guy is actually a good dude, we'll see if he can withstand the pressure of the expectations in front of him. Another character we see is Jordan Lee, and a lot of people have complained about this iteration of the Boys universe being overly progressive and have mentioned boycotting for that reason.
It's not that serious. Trust me, I know that.
We know the Boys like to push limits and explore territory that cookie-cutter superhero franchises often don't, sometimes in very strange ways. But this is a cool concept that opens up a lot of room to explore the duality of the character and dual power sets in general. It's something I've never really seen before as far as representation goes. In a world where we get the same mass-produced IP forced down our throats every blockbuster season, wouldn't it be nice to see a show that explores fresh ideas? Lastly, we have Kate Dunlap. This is probably one of the more chaotic character power sets introduced. She's got a touch-based hypnotism and mind control ability that will definitely stir some bullshit and probably lead to some eventual deaths, or at the very least, mystery. She's also Golden Boy's girlfriend, so the odds seem real high that she could have influence over him given her power description in general and how her character is described via the Amazon press release.
Yeah, one of the best parts of The Boys was discovering new soups and finding out what their powers are and how they work in the context of real-world physics, so it'll be dope to see these new characters and explore their powers as well. Now, on to question number 3. Who will be the new Black Noir? Season 3 ended up with Black Noir getting diced up by Homelander. Even though he's dead as fuck, Vought loves to keep everything covered up, so the public probably has no idea. And since very few people know what Black Noir even looks like under his helmet, Vought can easily get someone else to play the role and go about business as usual. We didn't learn a ton about Black Noir until season 3, and damn was his story heartbreaking. Originally, we thought he was just a cold-blooded killer, and while that is still very true, his past was filled with a lot of pain. As a member of Payback, Black Noir had a chance to be a part of a major superhero team, but that came with a lot of negative aspects. Since this was around the 80s, racism was a million times worse, so Vought forced Noir to conceal his face since he's black and they thought he would be less marketable if people knew what he looked like.
People don't even know it's me under this thing. I gotta wear it just to get a cab.
Payback is the country's premier superhero team. The whole country. Sadly, a black member is still a non-starter below the Mason-Dixon.
And let's be real, Noir was a pretty handsome guy. Even worse, Soulja Boy, leader of Payback, was an absolute 80s jock bully, and he went out of his way to keep the other members of his team down. In one instance, Black Noir had a chance to get a role for Beverly Hills Cop, but Soulja Boy sabotaged it, and the rest is history. When Noir confronted Soulja Boy, he got the shit kicked out of him. This constant bullying obviously led to all the members of Payback turning on Soulja Boy and selling him out in Nicaragua in 1984, with some involvement from Vought, of course, but the plan came with difficulties as Soulja Boy burned Noir's face and scarred him for life and fucked up his head so he couldn't talk anymore. In order to confront his demons, Noir imagines Buster Beaver and his friends for comfort, and it's a heartbreaking scene when Homelander rips him apart and he's looking to his imaginary friends and Christ for support.
We are so proud of you. Soon you'll be in the sweet embrace of Christ the Lord.
So Damon, talk to me more about Black Noir.
I didn't even realize how much I love Black Noir until we got that background episode with him. When Homelander snuffed him, I went through some Mufasa's death type emotions, and it'll be interesting to see what role the new version of Black Noir can play. It's been confirmed that the actor who played Black Noir is having his role reprised and that he's coming back for season 4. It might be like the time my goldfish died and then suspiciously came back to life the next day after my mom made a trip to Petco. Is it really going to be the Black Noir we know and love? Sure, I guess. Technically no. But we will see Nathan Mitchell back in the same role.
Our fourth and final question going into Gen V is how much of a cameo will Homelander and the other characters from The Boys get? We just covered Black Noir, so this is a fair thing to wonder on. Talk to me, Damon.
Oddly enough, we might get more crossover from side characters like Ashley and A-Train. Oh, and this dude. Godolkin is just another cog in the propaganda factory, which explains some of it as we've seen the organization try and use A-Train as more promo material and shamelessly pretending as if they're socially responsible. So either we get some more A-Train appearances or this school just goes really hard on Turbo Rush. Maybe it's a good mixer, I don't know.
I wouldn't pour this on my dick if it cured cancer.
We've also got A-Train's old coach present at the school still. The fact his coach is still there means we'll have one or more adults present who push their students to an unhealthy level of competitiveness or compound V ingestion, or both. Either one isn't preferable for future health and stability. Are we sure this place is accredited? We also get a Soldier Boy cameo as confirmed by Jensen Ackles himself. We do see a Homelander statue present throughout the trailer, even if it is defaced. Other than that, pretty much just minor side appearances.
Well, hey, we're less than a month away from the show, so not much more to say. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with episode recaps when the season drops. Catch y'all later.